Good morning, good day, good evening. My name is Diane Kovatz, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the International Society for Computational Biology. It's my absolute honor to welcome you today to the ISCB Town Hall meeting, A State of Our Society. I'm joined with many of the ISCB leadership, and I will be acting as your Master of Ceremonies. For today's agenda, Christine Arango, ISCB President, will give a brief address, followed by a presentation of awards, our introduction of our class of 2021 fellows, and then Bruno Gieta, our treasurer, will do our treasury and membership report for you. Kath Brooksbank, a co-chair of the ISCB Education Committee, will share some of our ISCB education and training initiatives that we're working on and have been implementing. And then Alex Bateman will share our exciting news about our green ISCB initiatives. Followed by that, Thomas Lingauer will join Alex and announce our new Bioinformatics Advances journal. Finally, Michelle Brazos will talk about our elections, and then we'll turn our program over to our energetic student council, who will give us a deep dive into what the student council is doing, as well as present the SCS 2021 awards. So with that, Christine, I'm going to go ahead and share the screen over to you. Welcome.
Thank you, Diane. I'll just share my slides. Hopefully you can all see that. Well, it's a great pleasure to open this meeting, and it's an honor to be your new president. And I think my first task as the new president is to thank the people who are stepping down this year. Firstly, huge thanks to Thomas Lingauer, who's been our president and has steered us so skillfully through many challenges, not least COVID, but also through many successes. And in particular, I'd like to mention the launch of the Bioinformatics Advances journal, which you'll hear more about later today. But I also think the establishment of the Equity, Diversity and Inclusion, the EDI committee, has also been important, as it will help us to make the society more fair. Thanks also to Bonnie Berger, who's been a wonderful vice president, always contributing many valuable and exciting ideas to the executive committee. She's also been the chair of the Fellows Committee and the chair of the Awards Committee. Scott Markle, who's done an amazing job for very many years as the secretary of the society. It's hard not to see him on the meetings anymore. He's always been the voice of calm and reason, reminding us of what the regulations are and what the mission of our society is. Thanks so much, Scott. Thanks also to our board members, Francisco Mela-Lederman, Nikki Mulder, and Peja Radivojak, all stepping down this year, and all of whom have made great contributions to the board. Francisco has also been a co-chair of the Conferences Committee, and Nikki Mulder was a co-chair on the Nominations Committee, and Peja Radivojak has been the chair of the Publications Committee and has been involved in the launch of Bioinformatics Advances journal. So thanks to all of you, and we hope to see you again in other capacities in the society, but thanks so very much for what you've given over the years. So I want to just briefly run through some of the things that we've achieved over the last year, and in particular thanks to the conference committees and the Cozy Track organizers for all the work they've done in handling our Zoom conferences. Of course, Zoom is a wonderful mechanism to reach out more widely across the world. And we've had many more participants as a result, both last year and this year, even though obviously I think there's some Zoom fatigue setting in, we still have a really good turnout. We also have more countries involved, 25% increase over 2019. And I'd like to stop at this point and especially thank Belle and Seth for the huge amount of work they've done. Seth is the technical lead and setting up all the poster viewing halls, and Belle, who's done great work with the scientific program committees and introduced lots of very good ways of engaging via Zoom. And we've also had a lot of successful virtual conferences in other continents, hosted by Africa, Latin America, and also hosted by the student regional groups. And you'll hear more about those from our very dynamic student groups later on. And in the future, we hope to be able to offer these hybrid meetings because it brings more participation, and you can choose whether you come in person or you attend by Zoom. Okay, so the next, I think, big development we've had, as I've mentioned already, is the Bioinformatics Advances. You'll hear more about that from Thomas later on. And I want to thank in particular Alfonso Valencia, Thomas Lengau, and Peja Radivojak, and the Publications Committee, the huge amount of work that's gone into this over the years. And it's a really significant development, as I've mentioned already. And thanks to Thomas and Alex for taking the helm with this journal and bringing in a really great diverse team of editors. I want to thank the organizers of the communities of special interest. We have 21 of those now, and we're hoping to keep those communities active throughout the year by the webinar series we've launched. Each COSI will two webinars per year, and that means that we'll have webinars more or less every week throughout the year. And all of these will be part of Iscb Academy. Education, always very active as ever, and you'll hear more about that later. I particularly want to mention the launch of the short course affiliation program, the degree endorsement program. And again, they're going to launch an Iacb Academy webinar series as well. And they've really done great work in the Global Education Summit. I want to thank the Equity, Diversity and Inclusion Committee for great work on their survey of the Iacb Awards. And although we can see that we awards reasonably fairly according to gender, so the ratios are close to what we have in the society, we can see that in other areas of diversity, we're not so good. And we can also see that as far as nominations go, that there really is a problem, and we need your help with that. We need you to be nominating a much wider group of nominees that really capture the diversity we have in our society. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm having problems with this. It's not, that's it. There we go. And I also want to thank the people involved in the review of the Iacb Fellows process. This will be discussed and hopefully brought in for next year. And thanks to Seth for his help with this. Again, just briefly on this Iacb Academy webinar program, big thanks again to Belle and Seth for running that. And it's really gaining momentum. It's only been going for 18 months. We already have 27 recordings in the library. And as I said, from September, we're going to have COSI webinars every Tuesday. And we do have this training and industry series being planned as well. And it will all be available for you on Iacb TV. We're also launching, as regards communicating with the other societies and wider public, the Public Affairs and Policy Committee have launched a new Science in Society webinars series. And Thomas Lengau will moderate the first one of those this Tuesday on scientific journalism. I hope you catch that at some time. A few ideas for the future, but really we would like all your ideas and your input. We really need to increase the perception of our society to increase our membership and keep it stable. And this means increasing the recognition of our COSIs. It means increasing the prestige of our awards and fellows by making the whole process more transparent. How can we enhance and expand our COSI activities? What are we missing? Can you let us know if there's some area that we should be planning? Should we think about synergies with other societies, for example, experimental or engineering, especially with this link between big data and computer science? Should we help our COSIs expand their organizational structure? They work incredibly hard, and it's a lot of work organizing the tracks in ISMB. We're now asking them to help with their COSI webinars, and the student council have already been helping quite a lot with that, and postdocs as well. So any ideas on how we can do more to keep these communities active throughout the year would be great. We want our COSI webinars to be really a must-have on everyone's CV and to be as valuable as giving a talk at our ISMB conference. We also want to encourage synergies, joint meetings, and joint special sessions where we can see there are areas of overlap between our COSIs, and they do exist. We really want to be more fair. This is incredibly important. And we again, thanks to the EDI committee, we need to make sure we have the right initiatives in place to continuously monitor our diversity and publicize it. We need to work with the COSIs more so we can capture information on who's speaking and on their talk, in their tracks. We need to solicit nominations from them. But as I said, we also need to solicit nominations from all of you as well. Training, it's difficult there's so much going on in training, it's difficult to know what to suggest. But obviously there are already plans to work with other communities, experimental and engineering, and also capture. There's a lot of online material being generated as a result of COVID. And so hopefully we can capture some of that and facilitate the dissemination of that. And we can help in training more experts in these transformative technologies of AI and machine learning. We need to continuously think about how we can be more global and nourish our regional communities. our regional student meetings, perhaps by selecting the best talks for a track at ISMB, working closely with our regional groups through jointly hosted meetings, and relaunching perhaps, if we can financially, our affiliated group incentive program. But I think probably what's going to become increasingly important over the years, we need to help the society and all of you who belong to it to become more green. And you'll hear more about that from Alex Bateman. We have another track this year at ISMB, and we need help in growing our ISCB Grove. Alex will tell you more about that. How will our hybrid meetings help with our carbon footprint? And should we be encouraging people to perhaps join meetings when they're in a country near them? So many things to think about. And so really, it's your society. So I want to end by saying that we need you as well. We need you to volunteer for our committees, to come to our conferences and workshops, to submit your papers to our new journal, and to give a talk in or to listen to our webinars. But most importantly, please give us feedback. What should we be doing more of or less of? And after that, I want to thank Diane and her whole team for keeping the show on the road so successfully and professionally, and also Stephen Laird and his team for helping with this conference. But thanks very much to Diane for making the society move so smoothly. And I'll stop at that point, Diane, and stop sharing my screen.
Very kind of you, Christine. It's an absolute pleasure to have the opportunity to serve the society on a day-to-day basis. So I'm not going to quite let you off the hook, because you have the honor of presenting our 2021 Wikipedia competition results and awards. The ISCB started this competition 10 years ago this year. And over the course of the fall and winter time period, we solicit articles through Wikipedia that can be improved. We have 3 prizes. Third place will get $150 in a year subscription to ISCB. Second place gets $250 in a year subscription. And our top Wikipedia prize winner will get $500 US in a year subscription. Are you ready, Madam President?
I'm ready. Let's see who's been successful. So, third place tie for our Wikipedia competition is Wyatt Smith and Uza Zausaris. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. From the University of Ohio in America, out of bag error. So that sounds fascinating, and congratulations on that. The second person on the third place tie is the group from Sinvestav National Autonomous University of Mexico and the University Michoacana de San Nicolás de Hidalgo, Mexico. Apologies for any mispronunciation there. And again, fascinating topic, machine learning in bioinformatics. Congratulations there. Our second place goes to Tiago Lubiana at the University of Sao Paulo on biocuration. Very important topic. Well done. And our first place goes to Nelly Sela Mojica and Erika Cruz at Sinvestav, Mexico. Again, fascinating topic, pan-genome, and really congratulations for the first place in our Wikipedia competition.
Now on to the introduction of the class of 2021 fellows. Madam President.
So it really gives me great pleasure to introduce the new class of fellows, and many of them will be familiar to you already. Sorry, let's stop there, do I, Diane? I wasn't sure if I was supposed to.
Sorry.
I don't know if there's time to give the names. Of course, everybody can see the names, so perhaps you can advise me on that, whether I should call out the names or not.
Please feel free to do so, Christine.
Okay, very briefly then, because it's a congratulations and welcome to the fellows for this group. Atul Bute, Keith Dunker, Eran Halperin, Wolfgang Huber, Soren Israel, Christina Leslie, Ming Li, Nuria Lopez Spigas, John Molt, Dana Pierre, Teresa Prishtika, Aitan Rupin, and Gustavo Stolitsky. I hope I pronounced them all correctly.
I will give the resounding applause.
Thanks, Diane.
Thank you so much, Christine. At this time, I'd like to turn the floor over to the ISCB Treasurer, Bruno Gieta, to give the Treasurer's report. Bruno?
Thank you. I should have unmuted, and turn my video on, so hopefully I'm visible.
We can see you perfectly fine, Bruno.
Excellent. So, in case you haven't noticed, we've had a pandemic and it's still going on, and it has had a big effect on our finances. But all through the pandemic and going on, our goal has been to keep the society running, to keep all our programs, to make sure that we can continue serving our mission and serving our members. So over the last year, we, in spite of a considerable financial hit, we have not reduced or cut any supportive program. All our conferences have moved to virtual platforms. Last year's ISMB was by the skin of our teeth. This year, hopefully, you will find it a lot smoother and organized. We've also introduced a new program, Iscb Academy, that will be discussed later. And we've continued to support those in need through our fellowship program, especially students, fellowships, and so on. And the reason why we've been able to do all this, in spite of our income dropping through the floor, is because we had good reserves. And in past years, whenever I gave the treasurer talk, somebody in the audience would question, why do you keep these reserves? Well, this is what it's for. This has allowed us to weather this pandemic and hopefully weather it until things pick up again. Next slide, please. So in terms of membership, our membership took a major hit. We reached our all-time high in 2019 after the Basel conference, which was widely successful. We had almost 3,500 members. 6 months later, end of last year, it dropped to 2,686. And that's partly because people just did not rejoin for a virtual ISMB. That being said, our membership is starting to rebound, and we're really happy to see that. And it's currently at a little bit over 3,211. Now, membership is important. You know, the society is there for the members, but the members also support the society. And the more members we have, the more programs we can offer to these members. And in order to increase memberships and to make the society always more relevant and also more affordable, we've introduced 2 new membership models. One of them is a laboratory membership. The other one is an institutional membership. And these are group memberships that allow getting a whole bunch of people to join the society in one go with some discounts. And if you go and look on the website, you will see the details. Next slide, please. So this is showing again the evolution of our membership over the years. You can see that 2019 was our best year ever. But you saw the drop in 2020 from the high to the low. And now in 2021, we are picking up again to some extent. Can I have the next slide? Thank you. This is showing the breakdown of the membership by country. One big contributor to the drop of membership last year was a big drop in European membership. But this year, and I suspect partly because the time zone of ISMB is more Europe friendly, and also it's joined with ECCB, we are seeing a European membership picking up again, but also other countries, which is great. Next slide, please. So getting onto the numbers, you can see that in 2020, we lost money. We lost almost $200,000, whereas in 2019, we were in profit. Our revenue was considerably down, but our expenses were reined in considerably as well, thanks to the really hard work of the ISCB staff and DIME. That being said, at the same time, our investments picked up. This is nothing to do with us. It's got everything to do with the market, which surprisingly went up during the pandemic. But you can see the breakdown of the expenses. We have kept, really the only thing that went down significantly was conferences, and it's because they moved to a virtual model. Can we have the next slide, please? So in closing, our strong cash flow and our excellent financial position in 2019 has kept us alive till today as we continue to navigate the pandemic. And hopefully that won't last too much longer and we'll be able to pick up again. We always try to operate the society to break even, and especially at the moment. And we hope to make some money to support new activities in the future, and also to recover the deficits that we incurred in the last 2 years. The biggest problem is the declining membership because it will put a strain on the finances. So we need to keep on to try to increase the membership. And this is really something for all of you who are here in attendance today, because you are the faithful ISB members. And the fact that you are interested in the runnings of the society means that you have a stake in it and you see the value of it. And any help you can give us here to increase membership, and to talk to your colleagues who would also get benefit from it, please do so. Moving on, it's clear that face-to-face conferences are never going to be the same, and we are going to be offering future conferences, hopefully as hybrid, face-to-face for those who can and enjoy the benefits that the face-to-face networking offers, but for others in virtual format as well, so that the science can be spread as far as possible. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Bruno. Next, I'd like to turn the discussion over to Kath Brooksbank, one of the ISCB Education Committee co-chairs. Kath?
Thank you very much, Diane. Before I launch into an update of what we've been up to in the last year, I would also like to say a few thank yous. As Christine mentioned, it's been another very busy year. And I'd like to say a thanks to Nikki Mulder and Venkata Satagopam, my two co-chairs on the Education Committee. I'd like to say thank you to our COSI leads, Russell Schwartz and Patricia Pelaggi. I'd like to say a special thank you to Bruno Gaeta, who is perpetually active in our education activities and whose wisdom and experience we continue to call on. And of course to Diane and the ISCB team, who are quite simply awesome. There is no other word for it. So it's been a very busy year. You'll learn more at the education COSI session later on if that's the track you choose to follow. And I'm going to give you a very brief update. Since 2014, the ISCB has been refining and advancing its standard for bioinformatics curricula through the competency framework. And the committee, together with a broad network of bioinformatics educators, has updated this standard in the past year and has written guidelines to support course providers to apply the standard. This standard is reviewed on an annual basis during the Global Bioinformatics Education Summit, which has now been going for 3 years. And then updates and revisions are released in associated publications and on the website. We believe that excellence in our profession starts with a deep knowledge foundation, and this standard is our attempt to support that and to enable educators around the world to continually improve their bioinformatics education and training offerings in line with what the ISCB understands to be the very state of the art in computational biology and bioinformatics. And to that tune, we are soft launching 2 programs that support these activities. The first of these is the ISCB affiliated short courses program. This program gives those producing short courses the opportunity to have them affiliated with the ISCB. Affiliation includes the branding of the ISCB logo and promotion of the short course in the events calendar. Short courses can be affiliated if they demonstrate that they support the development of one of the competency areas in the ISCB competency framework. And if you'd like to submit an application, please contact us via education@iscb.org or reach out through the conference attendee connections, and we'll endeavour to support you through your application process. For longer and degree granting programs, we have a degree granting endorsement program, which is also soft launching at this conference. The offer there is peer review of your entire degree program and a checking that that program also meets the competency standard set by the competency framework. And details about the program, what is required, the benefits of being endorsed by ISCB will be made available online soon. You can also reach out to us, as I mentioned before, for the affiliation program, should you like to participate in that endorsement activity. We've been very active in terms of offering and then capturing tutorials and workshops at ISCB conferences. So it's a goal of the committee to provide training and workshops worldwide. We offer these as part of our official ISCB conferences, and it's a great way for members of the society to get involved in education and training activities. We open calls for submissions throughout the year, and if you have a training activity or a workshop that you'd like us to consider, please do submit to these conferences. We're beginning now to expand this program to offer training throughout the year via the Iscb Academy, and we'll be sharing more information about that in the coming weeks. Moving on from that, we've then gathered all of the tutorials and workshops that have been delivered over the past years into a single resource page of on-demand tutorials. Videos are tagged by topic, and they're available to view on ISCB TV. As more new trainings become available, as they're delivered at conferences and through the ISCB Academy, we'll add them to this page, so there'll be a single source of all previous tutorial material that will be there for you to make use of. If you have a recorded training that you'd like to have included, please do get in touch, and you can email admin@iscb.org to have your content added. We're a very active and also a very open community at the ISCB, and we collaborate with the Education Cozy and with Goblet, the global organisation of bioinformatics learning, education and training. We've worked closely with Goblet over the past year to fulfil our strategic education and training initiatives. The Cozy and the committee work especially closely together. The difference between these two groups is that the committee is made up of ISCB members, and this is a requirement of the bylaws of the society. But the Cozy is open to all, members and non-members alike, who have an interest in bioinformatics training and education development. I highly encourage you to consider joining the Education Cozy. There's a huge network of people who are absolutely passionate about education and training within our profession. And if you're not already a member of the society, and if you are a member of the society and haven't interacted with the Cozy yet, then I would warmly encourage you to do so. Goblet now also offers individual membership if you're interested in getting involved there. Previously, it only offered societal or membership to a legal entity, but you can join as an individual now. And then finally, we have our education website, which is managed by the ISCB Education Committee. It's filled with resources. You'll find information about the degree programs, archived tutorials, committee-supported competitions, and many other things. It's grown somewhat organically over the years, and we're about to undergo a major overhaul to make the site more intuitive and user-friendly. So watch this space for updates over the coming year. And of course, we'd be delighted to have your input. And with that, I'd like to thank you for your attention, and I will hand back to Diane.
Thank you so much, Kath. So many great things coming out of our Education Committee Education Cozy and the collaboration with Goblet. I would now like to bring to the virtual stage Alex Spateman, the chair of the ISCB Green ISCB Task Force. Alex?
Okay, so I'm going to give a quick update from the Green ISCB Committee, which meets regularly to discuss sustainability issues for ISCB. And I'd like to thank the other committee members, Diane Kovacs, Burkhart Rost, Christina Rengo, Janet Kelso, Shell Brazos, and Jeff Barton. And so one of the things that we have done is to introduce the ISCB Grove program, which allows our members to offset their carbon emissions. And so I'd encourage you to go and visit the site and do this to offset probably you don't have many emissions from travel at the moment, but maybe you might look at offsetting your historical emissions. But having this conference virtually for the last 2 years has actually saved an enormous amount of carbon emissions, probably between 750 and 1,000 tons of CO2 emissions per year saved. So we're really pleased that the Society is looking very strongly into how to run future meetings in a hybrid format so that you can, if it's relatively local to you, attend in person, and if it's a very long haul flight away, maybe you might not attend in person, but attend remotely. Additionally, we've held at the last 2 ISMB conferences sustainable computing special sessions, and we had this year's yesterday, where there were great talks on the impact of AI, and also on the global impact of computing technology. So some really great talks, and also presentations from Loic Lanalong on software that you can use to sort of measure your compute emissions. And coming out of the discussions of that committee, there's also a 10 Simple Rules article which should come out in PLOS Computational Biology quite soon. So that's a sort of very quick update. If you're interested in getting more involved, then please do contact us. We'd be really interested to hear your thoughts and get you more involved. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alex. I actually had the opportunity of popping into the green session yesterday with some really exciting information. For those of you who did miss the green session who are interested in learning more, those sessions will be posted a bit later today because it was our live stream session. The live stream talks do take a little bit of time to process before they're part of the library. But any of the sessions that are presented here at ISMB will be part of the conference library for your viewing much after. But with that, I'd like to now invite Thomas Lingauer also to share his screen, and along with Alex, tell us a little bit more about Bioinformatics Advances.
All right, do you see my screen?
I sure do, Thomas.
Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm very happy to tell you a little bit about Bioinformatics Advances, and Alex, the other editor-in-chief, will pick up during this short presentation. So after a good 25 years of the life of our society, we finally have our society journal. Since March of this year, we opened this journal. We do this together with one of the leading publishers, scientific publishers in the world, Oxford University Press. We're very happy, and I'm personally proud to join with them. The partnership with them is extremely productive and enjoyable. This is an online journal, online only. It represents all sides of our society, plus emerging areas. So we will have scientific content. We will also have society content. There is going to be technically one issue per year, but papers will be continually published on the journal website. We had a soft launch on March 24. That was when the submission website went live, but wasn't announced very broadly yet because we were in test mode. We also have a transfer mechanism that Alex is going to tell you a little bit more about in a couple of minutes from OUP Bioinformatics. And we also had a transfer mechanism from ISCB, that should be ISMB, ISMB ECCB 2021 this year. And I expect that we're going to have this every year. Then we had the content launch on May 12th. That was when we announced submissions, invited submissions, original submissions. And when the first content appeared, there was no scientific content yet because paper processing takes time. It was a launch editorial by the two of us and an accompanying letter of the ISCB president. As of today, we have 9 advanced articles on the website, plus 5 more articles accepted. We have more than 70 articles that have been submitted or transferred and that have been processed or are still in process. This is our editorial team. We're very happy and proud to have them. They're excellent. There are 8 people. I will not read them. You can look at them on our journal website. And they are doing hard work for the journal, and we expect to increase this board incrementally as the journal paper volume picks up. We have pretty good coverage topically already now. The journal is considered, we consider the journal a sister journal to OUP Bioinformatics. The sister quality is manifested by the transfer mechanism that Alex will tell you about, but also by a scope, related scope. We will have a broader scope than bioinformatics. You see the subject categories on the left of this slide, and the top half, which is in Roman font, is exactly the subject categories of bioinformatics. We basically inherited those subject categories. Bioinformatics is a very methodical journal. It is not really catering to application studies, which is what we will do. So we have about a dozen more subject categories that cater to applications. And we reach out to the community to populate those subject categories. On the right, you see the paper types. We also have a few more paper types than OUP Bioinformatics does. There is a discovery note. These are again in italic, the original ones for our journal. There is a scientific data article, which is basically like an applications note, but it's not putting forth a method. It's putting forth a data set or data repository together with access functionality. And then we want to have opinion articles, perspective articles. Those are articles which we hope our society members will populate. And we are currently looking for original content there, solicited original content. And we're going through the society, through the COSIs in order to populate this. And there are feature articles, which are, it's a broad category that we still have to contour about scientific society content. It's an open access journal, so there are open access charges. You see these charges here. They're somewhat lower than the charges of competing journals in the field. And as an ISCB member, you get a 20% discount on the license fee. I will not read those. You see those access charges also on the journal website. So here are our priorities for running the journal. We want to secure high quality and broad topical coverage of submissions. I mentioned that before. We want to keep a coherent scope, mostly reflecting the scope of ISCB, but we also want to reach out to emerging fields. There is a little bit of a trade-off between scope coherence and broadness, which is a balance that we will actively pursue. We want to reach out to the global research community and meet diversity goals. You've already heard from our president that diversity is a high priority in our society, and we want to go along the line of increased diversity, increased fairness, and we take this up in our journal also, as you may also see when you look at our editorial board. We want to cater to our authors. We want to be very personal and professional and timely. And we already get the first very positive feedbacks from our authors about they feel pretty happy being served by us. There is also going to be special issues that we can have in the journal. For instance, coming from the COSIs or coming from conferences in the field. There is a first conference with which we will team up over the summer. And of course, we want to build a high reputation of the journal, and we hope that you find the journal attractive and that you will submit to it. Now I hand over to Alex for the remaining slides.
Thanks, Thomas. So one of the key aspects of this new journal is that we have a mechanism to transfer papers from OUP Bioinformatics to our journal. And these transfers are a really important method to grow the journal in the early years. And this mechanism, it reduces the re-review of papers because we can reuse the reviews that came from bioinformatics. And the editors there at Bioinformatics are selecting papers that they think are very good quality, but perhaps not within scope of the journal or don't meet their very high impact criteria. And so we've been very happy with the quality of the papers that's coming along and being able to make very fast first decisions on these papers. So this process is working well. Next slide, please. We are seeing about 3 submissions a week at the moment. And so we're estimating about 150 submissions by the end of our first year. The acceptance rate, actually, there are large error bars here. So it's anywhere between about 40 and 70%. I think this estimate's a bit on the high side. So we'll probably see about 70 papers published in the first year, which is about double the initial estimates put together by Oxford University Press. And also we're seeing very good uptake of the transfer option. But I'd really like to encourage you all to submit your papers to Bioinformatics Advances. I think you'll have a great experience with us. Next slide, please. And just the next step. So we have an agreement with the INCOB conference for 2021 that will accept papers from that conference. We are also about to invite our inaugural set of 12 members for the editorial board, and we'll be growing that in the coming years. And also we're very interested in soliciting suggestions for original content from our board, but also from the COSIs. And so, yeah, again, I really encourage you to get involved with the journal and submit your work to us. We'd be really delighted to take a look at it. Okay, thank you.
So I just want to announce also on the audio that there is going to be a Birds of a Feather session on Wednesday, whatever time you have, wherever you are, in the middle of the day of the scientific day, and we will be there to answer your questions and to discuss with you about the journal. And we're looking forward to seeing you in this session.
Thank you so very much, Alex and Thomas. Exciting for sure. And I know it's been a tremendous amount of work. So thank you for taking the lead on that. I'd now like to just turn the slides over to our ISCB nominations co-chair, Michelle Brazos, to talk a little bit about the ISCB officer election.
Thanks, Diane. As an ISCB member, you have the privilege to nominate and elect members of the ISCB community to hold leadership positions. The 2021 open officer positions are for vice president and treasurer. Next slide. The 2021 ballot also has a position for a student council representative to sit on the board of directors. Next slide. As well as the leadership election of the ISCB Student Council. Next slide. The ballot is open, and so I encourage you to cast your vote. Use your voice and take a moment to cast your vote. And finally, the ISCB would like to congratulate Bonnie, Francisco, Lakshmi, and Lucia on their recent election to the board of directors. Congratulations to all, and thank you for your service to the society. I turn the slides back to you, Diane.
Thank you so much, Michelle. And in my congratulations as well to our new members of the board. And that ballot will be open until Friday, so make sure you cast your vote. Without further ado, I'd now like to turn the presentation over to our Student Council, where they're going to give us an update on what is happening in the Student Council, as well as the SCS 2021 presentation. Farzana, the floor is yours.
Yes. Hi, Dan. Thanks. I will just quickly start sharing my screen and then I can start. Okay. So good morning, good afternoon, evening. I am Farzana Rahman. I'm currently in the ISCB Board of Directors representing Student Council and Early Career Researchers. And this year is my last year running for and representing Student Council. As you have seen, the vote is open, so please do vote. Before I start my presentation, I'm just giving some shout outs for the vote, for the nominees actually. Okay, so welcome to Student Council's report at ISCB Virtual Town Hall. Since 2005, Student Council members are working toward building and fostering the next generation of computational biologists. In this slide, you are seeing the current elected executive team members and committee chairs of the Student Council. However, we are a way bigger community than you saw in the last slide via our regional student groups. So if you're part of past, present, or future SC, please add your photo to create the SC collage. Visit the link, or you can take a photo and then later on scan the QR code to do that as well. Okay, now moving forward to committee updates. This year, Education and Internship Committee of Student Council organized SCS Wikipedia Hackathon, collaborating with ISCB Wikipedia Committee, which is co-chaired by Alistair Looney Welsh and myself as well. So our internship program, which is funded by the Anna Tramontano Fellowship, was paused due to COVID-19 pandemic. However, we are aiming to resume it from coming year. If you are a PI and want to host an internship by the program, please do contact us, and we value your support a lot. And if you are a student looking for internship, keep an eye on our website next year. Student councils, regional student groups are operating in 34 countries. They have been incredibly active, organizing virtual symposium and hackathon workshops and other events. We have funded 18 individual events in this financial year. So this is the current RSG distribution map. We are welcoming newly formed RSGs in Pakistan, Norway, Venezuela, and Nigeria. If you don't see a RSG in your country, please do contact the RSG team to help us set up a RSG in your region. We want to expand globally and gradually and rapidly. So the RSG webinar series has hosted 53 virtual events and talks in last 2 sessions. To find out more about the webinar, please email us or visit the QR code to learn more about it and also to collaborate. Our web committee led by Wim Kuipers and Spencer Krieger did great job maintaining SC websites, supporting SCS, because we hosted 3 Student Council Symposium last year. So they have supported those 3, and also RSG and supporting the RSG leaders with their websites and the submission system. So SC Treasurer Bart Kuipers did an amazing job with ISCB, especially with Diane, managing and maintaining the SC budget during COVID-19 pandemic and raising funds with the Student Council Symposium 2021 team to host the symposium. Our SC outreach chair, Nazifa Fatima, was incredible as usual, managing the social media platform and more importantly, promoting the SCS Wikipedia Hackathon, which was a great success. Thanks to Nazifa for all the promotion. We had a massive number of, large number of audience really. Okay, so now talking about a little bit of the future perspective. If you are in Nordic region or LA, Latin American region, please get in touch with the groups to expand the bioinformatics community further. We are also working actively to revive the RSGs in North African region. So please, that's our future perspective to combine and expand the Bioinformatics Committee in RHG North Africa, as well as progress it further in Latin America, South America, and the Asian region. Okay, so last year, even though it was a very hard and crucial time for all of us, but our incredible team has worked hard across the globe, organizing 3 flagship symposiums, and you will find those meeting reports published in F1000 research. So at present, we are working to strengthen the community as well as expanding the internship program to help more students from developing nations. And also the RHG is working more to expand their virtual seminar series. Okay, so here, if you we are interested to learn more about how the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted you, your research, and as an individual. So we have created a quick survey here. So if you can actually take a screenshot or photo of this, or maybe this scan the QR code or look at ICBSC or SS2021 Twitter link, then we want your support and we want you to participate in the survey. And as I said, like, we're actively looking for new members to join us. So if you are interested to join any of our committee, if you are a student, or maybe if you are a PI and you have students who will be interested to join us, please let them know to sign up. Okay, so I will be ending my presentation by congratulating the SCS Wikipedia competition winner, hackathon winners for this year, who are Maxwell Douglas and Pradeep Iranti, Sanjana Fatima Chaudhary, Thomas Chok, and Valentina Lorenzi. Huge congratulations to all of them. It was a great success, and we really appreciated your participation. And we had around 67 participants actually, even though we managed to do everything, but with the help of Diane in 2 weeks' time. So it was a great turnaround. Thanks, Diane. So as Christine mentioned, the society and everything, we are growing and progressing. I think it's a great thanks goes to Diane and also the board of directors, and for us, obviously the regional student group community. Thanks. I'll invite now Clady to present his Student Council Symposium report. Clady, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I'll turn off my camera and start.
Okay, good morning to everyone. My name is Clady Osorio. I'm from Peru. I'm a graduate student at University of Sao Paulo. I am chair of Student Council Symposium 2021, and it is an honor to me have organized the greatest event of the Student Council. And today I'm going to present the highlights of the Student Council Symposium 2021. First, we presented the logo inspired by the France flag colors. France was the host country of the event. And I would like to present our logo. Thank you very much. Next, we'd like to introduce our organizing team. Victor Bresingren from France. He was also the chair of the ISCS 2021 with me, as chair with me. I'm going to mention some chairs of each committee: Shruti Gupta from India, program committee, Gabriel Holguin from Chile, Outreach Committee, Matthias Galati from France, Social Event Committee, Sebastián Ayala from Ecuador, Fellowship Committee, and Slim El-Chiari from France, Finance Committee, and all of them people from Peru, from France, from India, and from Mexico too, and 2 members of the ISCB Student Council Executive Team, Gonzalo Parra and Bart Kuiper. Next. Okay, I'm going to talk about our statistics in general and about the program. We decided to make our events in 2 days just to give the opportunity to people around the world to attend our symposium. In the first day, the preference was for people from Asia and Europe, according to the best award for them, and the second day for America people and Europe people, of course. And we have 3 keynote speakers. I'm going to talk about this after. And we have 12 talks and presentation of 10 minutes 12 flash talk presentation of 2 minutes, and 28 posters. And about the attendance with the IRMIT platform, we had 236 registrants and more than 80 assistants attendants in our platform. Next. About our activities, as a novel feature in the history of the Student Council Symposium, we organized it with the support of Bredet Eranti and Gonzalo Parra, the RSG Roundtable. It was a global leadership meetings with the presentation of Sayan, then presentation of 6 RSG relevance, and after this, time to question for attendance about RSG in general, and with the presence of the executive team of the Student Council too. And we have at the same time presentations and panel presentations, talks, right? And panel session in our platform, because each table was for each poster, and social event with amazing activities and polls, for example, about the food or the culture of France, and about science, and then some games just to relax. Next. Our keynote speaker, Wolfgang Huber, Dr. Wolfgang Huber, thank you very much, Dr. Nicola Mulder, and Dr. Jana Brumberg. After these amazing and inspirational talks, we present as a special present, some designs about, well, it was just like a summary of their presentations. These pictures were designed while the speakers were presenting, and it was very incredible for them. And thank you very much, Cesar Ricardo from Peru, for these pictures. Next. Okay, thank you very much to the ISCB and the ISCB Student Council. And ISCB, thank you very much for the poster hall, for the website, for give us the list of our attendance. Thank you very much, Stephen Leard, Zedmund Hollat, excuse me for my accent, and Diane Kovas for your help and recommendation. And thank you very much, ISCB Student Council, Aishwarya, Nazef, and Varsana, Gonzalo Parra, thank you very much, and Barry Kuiper, for your advice, for your suggestion in the organization of our event. Next. Okay, about fellowship, we give some speaker and attendance fellowships, and we give 50 Cabana fellowships for Latin American students. Thank you very much, Cabana, and 27 Harvard American School fellowship for the student worldwide. Our review process was inspired in the guidelines of Cabana. Thank you very much, Cabana, and thank you very much, Harvard Medical Symposium, for your platinum sponsorship. Next. And the prizes for our winners they are sponsored. These are sponsored by Harvard Medical School for the talks. Winner of talks. Next. Flash talks and posters. Thank you very much, Harvard Medical School, and Cabana. Thank you very much for supporting Latin American students, and congratulations to all of them. Okay, and we would like to present these 2 pictures because these demonstrate our happiness working together after hard months of meetings, emails, and talking in English. No, we are not native speaker talking English, but it was the opportunity for all of them. In my case, thank you very much, because really it was of course an opportunity to me organize this really and incredible event. Thank you so much for the opportunity, supporting me and giving me advice. And I feel that I have improved my professional and leadership skill. But I would like to say that more than an opportunity for a Peruvian or Latin American student, in my case, it is the opportunity where I can inspire other students to involve on the ISCB and the ISCB Student Council in general, improve and organize events and in the bioinformatics and computational biology in my country, Peru. And I wish also improvements for each country in the world. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Clady. You had done an amazing job, and the energy and passion in our student council just speaks for itself. We're so, so proud to have you. And I've received many accolades today, which I cannot take on my own. I have an amazing team behind me that works very hard every day for ISCB, along with a wonderful supportive board of directors who are really working for you, our members. Unfortunately, we ran out of time today. I'll make sure I'll add 15 minutes in next year. But if you do have any comments, questions, or suggestions for the leadership, please feel free to quickly drop them in the chat. Or I'll open a Cafe Connect table during the Scientific Research Forum, and you can stop by and chat with me. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoy day 2 of ISMB, and I'll get you off to your next sessions now. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.